Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your hosts and favorite realtors, Naya
and Lauren.
And we're so excited to be back with you all another week. If it's your first time joining us, then welcome. Let's hop into this listener's story.
I'm going through a divorce and will need to move soon. Everyone keeps telling me to just rent for a while, but I don't want to rent. I want a fresh start in my own space. Is it even possible to buy while going through a divorce? I'm sorry that you're going through this because I know that's a lot. That is like very emotional with everything, right? Financially, everything. So just going through that is a lot. So one, we just want to put that out there. To answer your question, just straight on, yes, you absolutely can buy while you're going through a divorce. But if there are things that may hinder you from doing that, that is also that also can be the case. And what I mean by that is, like, are you in mediation? Do you have an attorney that will say, hey, listen, you can or cannot sell the house? Is your name on the loan or the deed? Do you have rights to sign off on whether or not you can sell the house or not? So the answer in general is yes. Anybody can sell while they're going through a divorce, but for your specific situation, it will change and it will be different just because everyone's situation is different. It all depends on what your agreement is with your partner.
Right. In most cases, it's best to wait until the divorce is finalized or just until they get to a point where some of those things are sorted out as far as, like, you know, attorneys saying you can or can't do something.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say you have to wait till the whole divorce process is over, because
that can take years.
That can take a minute. So for someone's trying to start over and start fresh, I do think that based on what your attorney says and how you divide things up, I do think that will really determine what you can and cannot do, both for you and your partner. Usually what'll happen for us when we work with clients who are going through that is we have documents either from the attorney, we've spoken with them, and they've said, hey, this is how the proceeds are to be split up once the home does sell. So we will make sure that we put that in. We let the title company know. So it's a lot of people that are in it, and a lot of hands are in it. So if you do not have an attorney and you are not going through mediation and you're just kind of like, oh, we're going to figure this out on our own, kudos to you. I think that's great. We've been through this quite a few times. We'll get a call from one spouse and say, hey, I'm ready to sell. We will call up the other spouse and they're like, what? Yeah, I never agreed to that. I'm not ready. So one thing I would say is if you could get on the same page with your partner, and if that is hard to do, then I don't know that it's going to be simple for you to just say, hey, we're going to sell, and you don't have anyone in the middle. Yes, we do tend to play being like the middle person in a lot of situations. I don't know that we want to do that in a divorce situation, because honestly, like, you in a divorce situation, you both have to be on the same page, especially if you're both on the loan and both on the deed. You have to be, because we need both of your signatures.
Yeah.
So there is no like, oh, I'm hiding this from him, I'm hiding. And then you also have to decide, how are the funds going to be allocated once the house does sell? And that has to be determined prior to us putting it on the market, because it's just horrible. You don't want to get a contract and you're like, oh, great, we got more, we got less, so you get less or you get more. That's not what you want to happen. So you want it already clear, like very clear, stated on an addendum or stated on whatever your attorney will put it on, and say, hey, this is how it's supposed to be distributed, and both parties need to sign, and then we can kind of move forward from there.
Great. That's good. Good. Yeah. And so some other things, I guess, in general to think about would be, now as someone buying just as an individual, considering, again, your income, what your own debt to income ratio is, and maybe any, I guess, assets that you have that are just yours, have an idea and clarity and be, I guess, prepared with those items as well, now that you would be buying on your own too.
Yeah. Like, are you tied up? Like, are your funds tied up in this house? Are you military and your entitlement is tied up in this house, so you can't buy until you sell that house? Like, what is the situation, and why don't you want to rent? Actually, I know why you don't want to rent. Don't even answer that. I know. But it may be difficult to, unless you're okay kind of staying in the house until you can go ahead and buy something, and if hopefully you can buy something at the same time. But again, that's something that you would have to, come to some type of an agreement with your partner, especially if they have to sign off on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Naya said, your financial situation plays a huge part on whether or not you can buy, after you sell the house. And that will be something that you would just have to speak with, a lender about, for sure.
I would say the answer is yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe don't rush it. And not to say don't do it, but, just think about all the things that we mentioned, have some clarity on funds, what's happening, who needs to sign off on what,
right?
And it's just going to take some careful planning, some consideration for all parties involved. So just be mindful of all of those things. But it is something that you can do while in the process, definitely after as well. So yes.
Yeah. And if your biggest idea is to have stability and peace in your home, it's going to be wherever you make it. Whether if you can't buy, the first 6 months after getting out of your situation, then that's okay. You can at least provide yourself with those things. And like Naya said, have some clarity, and then go ahead and go into the buying process. Because, I'm sure divorce itself is a lot just on you mentally, and to go through that, and to sell a home, and to try to buy, it can be a lot. So just have some grace for yourself. So your favorite word.
Right. Yes, have some grace. So thank you all for joining us again for another episode. We hope that information was helpful. Make sure that you're following us on all of our social platforms. That includes Instagram, TikTok. Make sure that you watch us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And you can listen to us on any podcast platform of your choosing as well. Thank you again, and we'll see you next week.